Hey everyone, this is Mason and you're listening to HerbRally. We're going to start releasing some of these episodes from The Plant Healer's Path, which is a special podcast series that Wolf Hardin created for our YouTube channel. So these are going to be clips from The Plant Healer's Path, but if you want to watch the full episodes, all the way up to around episode 20 as of now, you can check out our YouTube channel to get the full visual effect. Wolf spends quite a bit of time editing these and creating these, and I definitely highly recommend watching the full episodes and the full series on our HerbRally YouTube channel. So along with the podcast series that he's created, we'll be releasing some of these partial versions on the podcast, on the audio podcast feed. But he also wrote a book called The Herbalist, Your Healer's Journey. And basically it's the transcription of a lot of these episodes. I think you're really going to dig it. And guess what? Wolf asked me to write the foreword to the book, so I will read that now. So I wrote, I've been digital pen pals with Wolf for over a decade now. He writes some of my favorite emails I get in my inbox, full of stories, insight, life updates, wisecracks, and the occasional unabashed vulgarity, and he always genuinely asks how I'm doing. Then he emailed me with an idea. He wanted to create videos encapsulating some of the healing lessons he's learned over the course of his life and offered to share them through the HerbRally YouTube channel. Understandably, as a self-identified Luddite, he wasn't stoked on the idea of creating a brand new social media account to share his message. I was so moved that Wolf wanted to share his message with the HerbRally audience, I may have shed a tear. Thus, I enthusiastically wrote back verbatim, to say I'm excited at the prospect of doing this is an understatement, and so the Plant Healer's Path series was born. Wolf began recording these 5 to 20 minute long episodes and emailing them to me almost immediately. And that's one thing I love about him. Not only does he have ideas, but then he takes action. And in true Wolf fashion, he felt driven to turn it into a book. For one thing, he's a writer first, and for another, he understands that we all learn in different ways and didn't want to exclude his avid readers. That's what you have in your hands now, the text version of this year's episodes. Get ready to be inspired, uplifted, and empowered to be the very best healer you can be and a misfit health provider without reservation. I'm excited for the herbal community and the world at large to benefit from the teachings of the Plant Healer's Path for generations to come. So again, that is from the book, The Herbalist, Your Healer's Journey. I will leave a link to that book in the podcast show notes, along with all the other publications that they have as well. And of course, I'll also leave a link to the playlist, the YouTube playlist, and the podcast show notes as well, so you can check out everything in its entirety. And again, yeah, like I said, Wolf spends a lot of time editing these episodes, making them visually appealing, and definitely recommend checking it out. So you could expect probably around one of these episodes, at least the partial versions on the audio podcast feed, maybe about once a week or so. So stay tuned for those. Also wanted to let you know that Wolf and Kiva's event, the Good Medicine Confluence, is coming up July 10th to the 13th, 2024 in Durango, Colorado. So last year at the Good Medicine Confluence, it was in a different location, and this year they're going back to one of their favorite locations in beautiful Durango, Colorado. In fact, I've been to the Durango, Colorado event a few years back, and it was absolutely amazing. You can learn more about the Good Medicine Confluence at goodmedicineconfluence.com. And for 4 incredible days and nights, you will be blessed with your choice of over 100 information-filled presentations and hands-on workshops, all while experiencing an empowering and transformative journey like none other. So there's lots of teachers at this incredible event, and in fact, a lot of them have been on the HerbRally podcast or the Herbalist Hour. So definitely check out the Good Medicine Confluence July 10th to the 13th in Durango, Colorado. Learn more and register at goodmedicineconfluence.com. Huge thanks to Wolf for creating the Plant Healer's Path, also for creating such an incredible event, and definitely check out the book as well. So that's going to do it for me today. Enjoy today's episode of the Plant Healer's Path, and stay tuned for more in the future. Talk to you soon.
Yeah. Smoking herbal blends. We need some mullein and some kush, my brethren. While listening to HerbRally podcast again. Herbalism at its finest with Mason Hutchinson. Yeah.
You know, when we work regular rote jobs just for needed money, We might not care too awful much about either the work we do or the results on down the line. But by its very nature, the work of any kind of healer affects us greatly on a physical and psychological level. We expend not only time and energy, but emotional capital into the people, the ecosystems, the cultures, and the societies that we seek to aid and mend. In fact, the more that we care, the more personal investment that we'll have in the outcomes. This depth of caring means that we put more effort into our actions, from consultations and assessments to formulations and follow-ups. This means being easier trusted and relied upon by those we're trying to help, more effective in our wide-ranging kinds of efforts to help and to heal, repair, and remake. But it also means that we're daily trying harder, feeling more, as well as doing more. And in our passion and mission, we may not even notice the ways in which we're impacted and sometimes depleted. These can include a cumulative exhaustion from reduced hours of sleep and hyperactivity, leaving our minds a little less clear and functional. It can include stress that can slowly damage our immune systems as well as our psychological well-being. Being traumatized ourselves by the traumas of the distraught people that we try to heal, and a sneaky buildup of depression from sometimes feeling that we failed to do enough to resolve some clients or family members or even society's painful conditions. If you also strongly care about things like healthcare accessibility for the impoverished or the marginalized, if you care extreme amounts about preserving the rights and traditions of folk healing in the face of their denigration and regulation, you might find that you're putting in extra hours every day to provide free or discounted services to the needy, or that you're sometimes confronting official and political systems at the same time as you're doing your herbal work. Because we're aware of so much, because we love so much, it can start feeling like it's our personal, individual responsibility to somehow, some way, fix the whole damn world. Making the world a better, more healed, and more whole place does not fall just on us, of course, but subconsciously it can sometimes feel that way. So much so that nothing we do can feel quite enough. We can get caught up in a loop of constant acceleration as we chase the healer's holy grail, the resolution of disease of all kinds, and an end to suffering. And moving so fast, with our eyes so tightly fixed on our goals, it can become all too easy to neglect our personal needs, ignore our discomforts, and drain our crucial reserves. At some point, it's going to become counterproductive when we eventually get too busy to tend to our clients, too busy to tend to our important projects, tend to our home, our hobbies, our relationships, all the things that can nourish us. Regardless of how motivated or energetic we might be, it's still only a matter of time before we become too tired to do our very best thinking. Daily trying to educate, support, and even cheer up people who are going through difficult times can leave us with little capacity for relation, little capacity for the celebration that we need when we finally quit for the night. I get the urgency that you feel with so much illness and injustice to address, with so much good that you want to give. You have a long to-do list for sure, but you'll be able to be way more effective and be able to serve your mission, your aims for far more years if you put your own bodily, psychological, and spiritual needs right up near the top. The ways to do this have been pretty well outlined elsewhere, almost to the point of cringe and cliche. But let's throw out just a few examples for your consideration and inspiration. First, make sure that you get enough sleep each and every night in order to avoid accumulated sleep debt. A big help is setting aside an hour off screen, relaxing or playing right before bed. And you know that there are herbal aids from nervines to sleep inducers, and cannabis tincture can keep you in a dreamland better than any pharma products that are on the shelves. Eat enough. Eat healthy, and try to eat your meals at approximately the same time each day, if at all possible. Pay attention to what you are and aren't ingesting, as well as attention to the percentages of nutrients that are in each of these entrees. Reduced levels of even a single vitamin, such as B12 or D, can have serious ramifications on down the line. Most healing work, other than maybe something like wildland restoration where you're down on your knees planting saplings all day, most healing work is going to require that we're sitting down and often staring at a computer for a good part of the day. The body has to be exercised, though. It has to be challenged, stretched, and grown just as much as the mind does. Step away from the desk often. Take a break for yoga or workouts. Stretch and contort often for at least a minute or two. If you make or dispense herbal medicine, give some of your time to sensory stimulating, body utilizing tasks such as planting your garden, gathering wild plants, wildcrafting. You give so much to other people. Get outside in nature so that the inspirited natural world can give back to you, replenishing your being and spirit. So-called forest bathing might be trendy, but it's what humans have done since inception, quieting the mind so as to hear new instructions, new lessons, taking into ourselves the energy and the affirmation that can come only from the outdoors. Whether that's in a wild forest, a neighborhood park, or your tiny backyard, it is a vital portal and an agent for your revitalization. Don't forget the importance of both social time and solitude. The interactive company of other people can bolster, stimulate, relax, or affirm us. And it's our moments spent alone beneath sheltering trees or in a dedicated spot in our own rooms when we can best gather our disparate parts up into a single purposed and refreshed whole. On that to-do list of yours, make certain to include activities that have little or nothing to do with your work. Following your current interests in unrelated areas can help rewire and refresh your brain, triggering new ways of thinking and perceiving. Even the seemingly most superfluous or indulgent activities are highly valuable, providing not just mental relief, but reward. Finally, follow your bliss. Now forget that. Don't just follow it. Do whatever you have to do to live within it. To hold your bliss close, even when you're doing the hardest or the most sobering of work. Try considering what thrilled you the most when you were still a little kid, since those are the sorts of things that could still likely bring you into essential joy now. Things like run barefoot in cooler wet sand and on plant grass, swing from the trees, touch their bark and leaves with your eyes closed so that you can feel every shape and texture, and they bring you a smile. Rub the sore bodies of your loved ones, and then, allow yourself to be rubbed. Rejoice in your native sexuality. Notice the many scents of flowers. Notice the tastes of new foods or the tastes of your long-valued medicinal potions. Skip, jump, play, dance, Sing. Treat yourself well, and you will find that you're all the better able to treat unhealthy conditions. Take most excellent care of yourself, and you'll be more effective at caring for others.
And that's going to do it for today's episode. Thanks so much for listening to the HerbRally podcast. If you'd like to hear more from us here at HerbRally, we now have a text message community, believe it or not. Basically, it's just updates from us. We send about 1 to 7 texts per week, notifying you about new events, videos, courses, podcasts. You get the idea. It's pretty much like our email newsletter, just in text form. So if you'd like to receive text messages from HerbRally, just text JOIN, that's JOIN, to the number 541-256-2895. Again, that's JOIN to number 541-256-2895. And to stop receiving texts, that's easy too. Just text STOP to the same number. It'll opt you out immediately. Okay, thanks again for listening. Have a great rest of your day.